This is my cat Charlie, and I am Aura McKay, and we are here to talk to you about your freelance business. Now, Charlie has been well trained to help me create boundaries around my time and energy and to make sure that I don't work too hard in any given day. And today, he is distracting me from the conversation of DIYing in today's culture. I just want to check in with you all and see how you're feeling about a conversation that we started this morning in the Business Accelerator Mastermind. We were talking about the aspects of our DIY culture and some of the pros and cons of what that can mean to us as freelancers, but what it also means to our clients and our prospects, and how this culture might be impacting our business and how we do business. Love the comments. Please do dive in and share what your kinds of attitudes and beliefs are. Where this comes from is that we were having a conversation in the mastermind group this morning, and we were talking about the idea that there's a lot of pressure on freelancers to do everything themselves. I'm curious, do you feel like there's the pressure, like you got to do your own marketing, your own accounting, you got to do your own building of your website, you've got to do your own conflict resolution, your own email communication, your own scheduling, all of your own things that are completely outside of the skill or the creative passion or the creative craft that you have mastered? Often what I hear is, oh, I'm wearing all the hats, I'm wearing all the hats. But we didn't really look into why we're wearing all the hats. Where does that come from? Yes, if you want other people to hire you, you should also hire others. Except for that, that makes sense as a freelancer, except for there's all this pressure from the society and from our culture that seems to be on freelancers to, you can just do it for free over here. Why don't you just do it for free? Or you can just Google that on YouTube, or you can just, there seems to be this prioritization of the scrappy underdog, of the little freelancer who thinks they can and they do it all on their own self. And I wonder, as a culture, if there's something harmful about the exaltation of that fierce independence. What I notice is that freelancers who have been trying to do it all themselves, because that's what we're led to believe, is that we get the messaging that are like, I made six figures overnight by myself and you can too. And we're fed over and over again this idea that we can do it ourselves. What is the cost of that? We know that some of the pros of that is that there's a lot of really amazing software out there that supports us as freelancers to be able to do a lot of the stuff ourselves, like Canva, being able to use WordPress or a drag and drop website, or being able to use schedulers. Or now we even have AI that can help us write our captions or repurpose our content or run our business some other way. And we see it out there that people are looking for, what's the shortcut? How can I do it myself? How can I do it for free or for cheaper? And I worry that this attitude is partially responsible for the overwhelm and burnout, that it's causing people to potentially focus a lot on their shortcomings, and instead of focusing on the areas of excellence or their areas of genius, they focus on their areas of incompetence and think, I should be able to do this, I should be able to, other people can. And then they're in this state of shooting all over themselves instead of going, oh, I don't know how to reconcile a balance sheet. I'll hire an accountant. Oh, I don't know how to file my taxes. I'll hire an accountant. I also see a comment in the box over here that says, I like to envision my ideal future successful self. I'm not doing tasks outside of my zone of genius. Brilliant. when you look at the tasks that you most want to do in your freelance business, how many of you are raising your hand to accounting? Yeah, not very many of us, but a lot of us are doing it. Here's the flip side of that. We get frustrated, we get overwhelmed, but we're also in resistance because not a lot of us as freelancers are actually outsourcing. Most of us as freelancers, at least the ones that I work with, are solopreneurs. And then they beat themselves up about not being able to do things that you've never really been trained how to do. Option one, get training. Option two, let go of those things that are not in your zone of genius. Figure out a way to work around them or to outsource, automate, or delegate. Okay, great. But there are pros and cons to this attitude for our prospects and our clients as well. We might rage against those prospects that we see who are making their own logos on Canva, and we think, why aren't they hiring a professional? Or they're taking selfie shots and using them for their social media, or they have really bad photography on their websites, and we might go, why aren't they hiring a professional? Probably the reason they aren't hiring a professional might be the same reason that we aren't hiring a professional. Maybe they don't know how to properly outsource some of the creative tasks. Maybe they don't know how to hire for that. Like hiring someone for a creative service can be challenging. What do you ask for? How do you know they're going to do it? How do you know it's going to work? We're getting some agreements in the comment box as well. Yeah, absolutely. Having empathy for your prospects and for your clients and understanding that there are pros and cons to both sides can maybe help you present your services in a different way. Maybe it can help you position your services as rather than maybe solving your specific problem, maybe what you're really doing is saving them time and stress and frustration and the energy that they would be pouring into trying to do something themselves when you could take all that pain away and do the job effectively and professionally in probably half the time. DIY filters out people who don't value experts in design, but maybe they got intimidated. Possibly, but I know for myself that sometimes when I think about hiring or outsourcing something that I've always done myself, it can feel scary to let go of control, or I might not know how to explain it to someone else. Or an excuse that I've heard a lot of times is, oh, it's going to take me more time to explain it to somebody else for them to do it than for me to do it myself. The other thing that has happened, folks, and here's a con to the DIY world that we live in, is that good enough isn't always good enough. I know we say don't always go for perfection. There's no such thing as perfect, and done is better than perfect. Sometimes, folks, good enough isn't good enough. That good enough logo that you DIY'd for yourself in Canva might not be working as well as you thought. It might be doing you more harm. Those DIY headshots that you thought you'd just use because they're good enough for now might not be serving you. But when we can have empathy for why people aren't hiring you, and we can consider, okay, they're doing it themselves, they're doing it in-house, what might be stopping them from hiring or outsourcing it? And it could be fear, it could be this guilt, this feeling like they should be able to do it themselves. I teach marketing. I should be able to do all things marketing myself, but it's harder sometimes to do things for ourselves that we can do for other people. In the spirit of this, I invite you to just have a quick look at yourself and see how make a video of it. I see a Facebook comment here, the DIY one last time, make a video of it so you can delegate it later. That's a really great tip. If you are doing something that there's a particular way that you like doing it, record yourself doing it and then use that video to have somebody else do it your way. There are absolutely shortcuts that we can use so that we're not DIYing it. One of my mastermind members even shared that she's looking at repositioning some of her brand strategy services, repositioning in terms of the marketing and repositioning in terms of the value proposition, still basically doing the same thing in that she's offering people as a deliverable, would you like me to set up your Canva brand kit for you? So she's doing the brand strategy, doing all of the brand identity stuff, and then offering as an added service to her clients to be able to set up the brand kit. Why is she doing that? Because she knows that even with the brand kit, they're not likely to DIY it very long. And they're going to come back to her and say, okay, we don't like doing it ourselves. Can you do it for us? Maybe there's a way that you can support or position your services differently. The other way she could position that is if people call her up or have inquiries for, hey, will you would you update my brand kit or create a brand kit in Canva for me? And she can say, sure, I can only do that at this price if you already have a brand strategy and identity. If you have a brand identity but no strategy, it's this price. If you don't have a brand identity or a brand strategy, it's this price. Then you're able to meet people where they are in their own feeling of DIY ability, but you're also able to give them what they actually need. A lot of times there's a myth about DIYing that it's going to be super easy and super simple. All you got to do is buy this AI and it's going to make all of your captions for you. One of my mastermind clients bought an AI tool, and then what she realized is she still had to put in all of her brand strategy and brand identity in order to train that tool on who she was. And she thought it was going to be a shortcut. Do you think DIYing is a real shortcut? Do you think that it's impacting whether or not your clients are hiring you? Or what do you see as some of the benefits of DIYing? I'd love to hear from you. We had some great comments during the live. Please do come back if you're watching this on the replay. And if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. You help me get the message out to more freelancers. Thank you for joining me here on Coaching for Creatives. I look forward to seeing you all again next time.